folks, we're setting up to do the entree course for tonight's little demonstrations. My name is Chef Jay. I'm the chef at Social on State downtown, 201 State Street, if you haven't been yet. We're doing a little presentation of a seared duck breast that I'm cooking sous vide style. I'll explain a little bit about that to you. We're doing a frisee salad with a poached egg, some figs, cherries, toasted walnuts, and a fig balsamic sauce. So, purposely did a lot of components because they wanted us to do a recipe that you could take home with you and make at home. And I just wanted to show everyone what it really takes to put that plate in front of you at a restaurant, because a lot of people think it's just, cook a steak, here's the sauce, you don't even think about it, you just eat it. And it takes hours and hours from a lot of people to put that plate together. And so I purposely wanted to make it complicated because that's what it is.
I am not trying this at home.
So you should try it at home, because then you'll have more of an appreciation for it. So we're gonna start out. I'm gonna show you how to make the vinaigrette. I'm gonna show you how to make the balsamic sauce. I'm gonna show you how to cook the duck breast. I'm gonna show you every component. And then I've recipeed it out so you can take it home with you. So we're gonna start out. See some friendly faces in the front here. And more friendly faces over here. I'm just gonna chop up a shallot real quick. We're gonna saute it off, and then we're gonna put it in the Vitamix for a vinaigrette. I've never cut on a cutting board so low before. All right. What's that? I did two different types for you there. All right. Did you hear that sizzle? It's coming. All right, so I'm cranking this up to high because we're looking to get some real caramelization on it. We want to impart some flavor. Obviously a little salt and pepper. We're gonna let that go. With my tongs. If you were my tongs, where would you be? Oh, there they are. All right, we're gonna let that go. All right, into the Vitamix, which if you don't have one of these at home, buy it. They're $500, I don't care, it's worth it. It's the best blender. It has a 2 horsepower engine. No, they're not paying me to say this, but it's got a 2 horsepower engine inside this thing. It's the same thing that you would use for your garage door opener or your lawnmower. This thing, it rocks. So it can take anything and make a sauce. You can do your smoothies in the morning, your protein shakes after the gym, Jordan. Yeah. So to start out, we're gonna use a little white balsamic. You can buy it at Wegmans. I know it kind of seems like it's a little odd, but they have it around. It's just, we're not looking for a dark color in our vinaigrette. We're looking for a nice light color. I'm gonna take a couple cloves of garlic and a big heaping spoon of mustard. This is a whole grain mustard. You can use Grey Poupon, whatever you want to use, it's fine. We're gonna keep this going. Speed the process up a little bit. And then we're gonna get some color on here. We're gonna add it to our dressing. Now we're gonna put our top on. Get this thing cranking. We'll take the top off, and we're going to slowly add our oil. Now at home you could use vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil wouldn't refrigerate well, so I would use some kind of blend. At the restaurant, we actually took shallots already, and I cooked them in the oil, and then I strained the oil out. So this oil already has shallot flavor in it, so it's going to intensify what we're making here. Little cheap methods that the restaurants use that people don't use at home. Good to go? Woo. Not quite there. Paul, you with me still? You with me still? All right. So we're gonna taste our vinaigrette, obviously. Nothing is an exact science. This was a little too vinegary for my liking. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. If it gets too thick, you'd have to add a little more vinegar or add a little water to thin it back out again. That should be good to go. So we're just gonna pour this in a container and set it aside. We'll have that for our salad that we're gonna make in a little bit. Key, can you watch this one for me? Thanks. All right, next step. We're gonna make the fig sauce, which is gonna go underneath our duck over here. It's a combination of dried figs, a little bit of water, and some balsamic vinegar that's been reduced. And we're gonna puree that up, and the figs are gonna be the component that thickens it. So we're just basically gonna get our pot nice and hot. We're gonna add a little bit of vinegar, hopefully not choke on it. Some of our figs, and gonna let that reduce a little bit. I think we're running out of gas. It's all right, we'll be all right, I think. Yeah, we're out. Paging Rick Dodd. All right. Well, we're gonna puree this anyway. Next up, I just wanted to quickly show everyone what we do with the duck breast. If you're gonna cook this at home and you don't have an immersion circulator like this, you're gonna take your duck, you're gonna get it nice and dry with a paper towel, and then we're gonna do a nice little crosshatch on it. So we're going to, without piercing the skin, we're just gonna kind of drag across, but without piercing the meat, we're piercing the skin, obviously. A nice little crosshatch pattern. And this is gonna help render the fat when you're searing it in your pan. So you can see what I did there? You got one for me? There we go. In the nick of time. Woo! We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. All right. All right, so we're still working on our fig sauce here. So our balsamic vinegar and our figs, we're gonna mix them together in the Vitamix. If it is too thick, we're gonna add a little water to make sure we can thin it out a little bit. Is that the rain? Yeah. Woo! It's not cooling me off at all. All right, this is our fig sauce. Wow.
This is called extreme cooking.
All right, next we're gonna work with our duck breast. Just want to quickly talk about the immersion circulator. It's basically cooking via a water bath. So you can set an exact temperature, whatever you'd like your finished product to be at, and you would vacuum seal whatever your protein is. I took two duck breasts. I already cross-hatched them, put them in a vacuum seal bag, and we've set them in here at 135. So that's what our finished product is going to be, cooked to 135 throughout. And then the only thing I'm going to have to do is put a pan on the heat, and we're going to start rendering out the fat from the skin so it gets nice and crispy. So you add like a nice crispy outside on a chicken breast. This is going to be like a better version of that. So if you were going to cook this at home, you would take your duck breast, score it, salt, pepper, dry it off real well, and then you're going to stick it in the pan, let it render at medium-high heat, turn it down to medium, and let it really keep cooking. And if you're able to take your pan and stick it into the oven, I would leave it with the skin side down and put it straight into the oven to finish cooking. About 8 to 10 minutes if you're looking for a medium rare, medium. So skipping that process to make things easier in the restaurant, and or if you're doing a rainy day performance, I've got the two duck breasts right here. They're cooked to medium rare, 135 right now. And I'm just going to stick them in the pan and finish rendering off the fat on them. Get them real dry, a little salt and pepper. I didn't season them before they went into the bag. If you season with salt before you vacuum seal it, it'll draw all the moisture out, and you'll have all of your duck breast juice inside the bag, and none of it will stay inside the duck breast. So I'm going to keep this real dry, salt and pepper, keep our pan nice and hot, and we're going to start trying to render some of that fat out of the skin. So we'll get a nice golden brown top on it, like right here. Looking for crunch, texture, and flavor, obviously. A little bit of oil, not too much because you're going to get some fat out of the skin. At the end, I'm going to add this back just to keep some of the juice. After we get it going a little bit, add some fresh thyme. Just looking for added aromatics and flavor. All right, while that's working, we're going to build our salad. So, fig sauce is going to be sweet, salty, tangy. The dressing is going to be a little smoky from the caramelization, salty and sour. The duck breast is going to be real rich on the fatty side. And the poached egg is going to be on the fatty side. So we're kind of building all of the different components of sweet, salty, savory, really just going to hit every single part of your palate at the same time. And the one component that we're missing is kind of a bitter component. So that's why I've got this frisee lettuce. It's the curly tops of endive. They sell it at Wegmans. If you're into anything bitter like arugula salad, something like that, you might want to try this out. Turn this down. We're getting there. Okay. We got our endive. I picked up these cherries when I walked into Wegmans. It's the first thing I saw. They looked awesome. Sweet, tart, one of the sweetest cherries you can find, these golden cherries. They're going to add a lot of flavor to our salad. You could slice them in half, quarter them, leave them whole. I just took a little chopstick in the back and just punched it through the side, and the pit will fall right out the other side. Just a little like hack that you might not know at home. You can just pop it out even with a straw. Sometimes if you can do that with a strawberry, they put a strawberry in the bottom, or a straw in the bottom, and the green part pops right out the other side. All right, we're gonna let that go. If you were at home, this would be your first step. You'd be pan searing it, getting it really nice and dark, and then you take this pan, if you have a oven-proof pan, put it right in the oven, as is, like this. You're not looking to completely sear the opposite side. Really what you're looking for is that skin, because that's the entire point of this duck breast is that the skin will be crispy and it'll provide the fat and texture that you're looking for. Since I've already had mine sous vide, I'm just gonna finish it right now. Flip it over for a couple seconds on the other side. See, we're getting that crispy skin right there. We lost our camera guy. And right here. I just wanted to show real quick. So this is a nice dark, crispy skin color. And then I'm just gonna turn that off and let it just sit in there until it's done. All right, for our salad, I got these cherries. Also found some figs. Again, we're looking for our sweet tart component. I'm gonna put this all together. I've also got some walnuts for crunch. We're looking for just for texture. So right here we've got figs, the cherries. Gonna add a little bit of our caramelized shallot vinaigrette, a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's gonna complete our salad. All right. The last step is poached egg. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. I've got eggs in the immersion circulator. You can set it to whatever temperature you want. 145 would be just barely set whites and still runny yolks. We're looking for something that will actually eventually bleed out onto the salad, like that. I knew that would work. I knew that would work. No. So that's what we're looking for. We're gonna look for the yolk to mix with the vinaigrette, mix with the salad, and then you got your duck. It's all gonna come together. Hopefully a perfect bite in the end. So I guess you wanna help me start laying out some of these plates? Would that be possible? Do you wanna wipe my brow? All right, so our salad's set. When it comes to poaching eggs, the best way that I've found is you add a little bit of vinegar to the water. So get your water boiling, which we might not have time for, but we're gonna add a little bit of vinegar to that. A couple tablespoons for every few cups of water that you've got going. Bring that to a boil, turn it back down to a simmer. So it's, you just see a nice hot liquid. We're gonna take our eggs and you're gonna put them into, I've got these down here. That might not be ready. My hand is now medium. So this is a leap of faith right here. But that's a 135-degree egg. The power was off for a little while. It's still hot. So you're gonna take your salad, right? You're gonna plate it up. Make sure you have a little bit of your crunch, a little bit of your cherry, a little bit of your everything. And we're gonna take our egg and put it right on top. Ooh. We'll let it on the side there. And that eventually is gonna bleed in, like I said, it'll mix with your vinaigrette. So you'll have the tang of the vinaigrette and then the fat from the egg yolk is gonna just bring it all together. So we're back to our duck breast now. Just gonna show how we slice these up. At a restaurant like ours, it's like tapas style, so it's all meant to be shared. So every kind of protein that we serve, we slice it up before it goes out so that everyone at the table can take their little piece and share it. I like to slice it at an angle. Make sure everyone gets a little piece of the skin. See here? It's cooked evenly throughout, still extremely juicy. You want to see that? I wouldn't squeeze it out if I were you. I just wanted to show you how juicy it was. And take a little bit of our fig sauce. A little bit of our duck breast. And our egg. There we go. And that's your completed dish right there. Whoop. I would just crack this egg right here just to show you.
Nice punch.
There you go. All right. That's it. So I'm going to cut these up. I'll plate them out. You guys can all try them. Does anybody have any questions? Sure. Sure. Yeah, no, you're not even going to get egg, I don't think, because I've only got a couple down here. But anybody else? Jordan? Jordan? Oh, sweaty. This is, it's actually glue that keeps it like this. Elmer's glue. All right. Enjoy. Come down and see us at 201 State Street, downtown Binghamton, Social on State. And thank you very much.